you so much for your warm welcome. Thank you so much for your warm welcome, Aya. Dear friends, let us start invoking philosophers, yogis, all other learned people knowledge, respecting them. Let's start the spiritual discourse on magnetism. Dear friends, you all would have known in the science there are so many particles named as several. Here we are mentioning only two particles, that is Vedan and Yogan. Wherever the word yoga comes, an approach to reach Almighty, the travel or the journey or approach to reach Almighty is Yogan. The same way, a wave starts from the infinitesimal energy particles and joins with the space, becomes magnetism. Cohesion of two principles. One is the Almighty God, other is the wave of which started from the particle. This is called magnetism. What is meant by magnetism? It is a cohesion of two principles, that is the Almighty God, gravity or pure space, and the other one is the wave starting and merging into the space. So these two joints becomes a great power, which is the unseen power, the divine power. And wherever there is infinitesimal energy particle, the wave should be there because of its self-rotative force, spinning force. Here you have to know the real meaning of the concept wave. Wave is nothing but dissolution of particle. When the particle is having spin, surrounding pressure force of Almighty is friction. From the friction, the particle is diluted. When time goes on, the particle will go on reducing, finally it disappears. Disappears means no motion at all. It becomes one with the gravity. All the wave you would have known already have electron, proton, neutron, and black hole. These are all not separate. First, because of the full speed, electrical charge, magnetic wave is more. So it is called electron. When the speed is reduced, the electricity is reduced simultaneously. So that is called the second stage of the particle called proton. Then the neutron. It goes further reduced. There's very less force in the spinning. Similarly, there is less magnetic wave. There is no charge. There's no too much charge. There's no charge at all. That's called neutron. When it happens, completely the particle stops. When it comes to that, it becomes black hole. The Almighty, the gravity is black hole. So in Hindu philosophy, God is called as black. In Sanskrit, it has come the name of Krishna. Krishna is called black. In Tamil, it's called Karupan. Many people have their names, that is Karupan, meaning God. These four stages of a particle, that's the different name also. You take the whole universe as a family. For example, in the family, there is father. You imagine the concept of father as pure space. Then by the self-compressive surrounding pressure force, that itself is split, that becomes particle. Part is particle. One of its part is particle. So particle you can imagine as a son of the father. When the same particle, when the self-compressive pressure force around is pressing, it becomes frictional force. It gets diluted. You can imagine like that. You, for example, you wanted to sharpen your knife. In those days, there will be a person coming all the way from the streets with a machine, small machine that's operated manually by leg. The machine has the stone wheel rotating. So the man keeps the knife on it and he presses the leg at the end. From the friction, millions of particles are coming, like sparkles. Where from the particles are coming? From the knife. So like that, from the particle, when the friction comes, automatically particle is reduced to its minimum. The particle itself is infinitesimal. The word infinitesimal is something you cannot see. That's not perceptible. That's completely imperceptible. Beyond that, there are several levels of volumes. We are not using those volumes. They are called micro, nano, even 10 to the power 12, until then septillion. It's 10 to the power 27 times. That's called septillion. Like that, it goes on reducing until it becomes nothingness. So the energy came working. The same energy is intensified as particle. The same energy particle is reduced by wave function. When the wave joins with the space, the function is reduced. The wave is what is called yogon. Yogon is magnetic wave that's union with the space. When it is joining with the space, that becomes magnetism. The whole universe, all the things and its functions, all the movements are going on only by the magnetic action. This is in a family. It's like grandfather is holding the hand of grandson. Both are having spinning, dancing and running like that. Like we do the ringa roses like that. So all the drama acted by both grandfather and grandson. Like that, this is the whole universe. What is seen in the universe? Nothing but the fluctuation of repulsive force. Whatever the action may be, there is some level of repulsive force by the friction of Almighty on the particle. So from the friction, the wave comes repulsive waves and keeps away each and everything aloof. Whatever you're seeing in the whole universe, the force is repulsive force. So the whole universe is nothing but the fluctuation of repulsive force. Nothing is left. You keep these four principles into your mind. That is, number one, God, the Almighty space. Number two, infinitesimal energy particle. Number three, yogon. The third particle, which is coming as wave. There are any wave in the universe cannot stay in the lengthwise because of the self-surrounding pressure force. So everything starts rotating. So that will make everything into global shape. Waves also takes that shape. That also we are calling as particle. Number four, when the particle joins with the space, that is called magnetism. When this magnetic force, when working or entering, permeating into Panchapudas in the Akash, it transforms into pressure in the Akash. In the air, it transforms into sound. In the heavy air, it transforms into heat, oxygen. it transforms into heat and light. When it enters into water, liquid, it transforms into taste. When it enters into solid, soil, it transforms into smell. These are the 5 transformations of the magnetism in the universe. What more you think in the world, whole universe, finally in the living beings, including the 5 transformations, the same transformation of magnetism feels what I become. It becomes, I am light. It feels, I am light now. So what degree was I already and what degree am I now in correlating with other thing? So this is the perception. So more than this, there is nothing. When you go on thinking and thinking, everything is happening within you, everywhere. So this universal functions to understand, it's very, very simple. It's very simple. The scientists and philosophers or religious people made so many crosslinks. They don't want all of us to understand the truth. They wanted to hide. So now you can all understand. Now we'll deal with the subjective phenomena, how the association comes into being. We are seeing the mountain, we're seeing people, water, the big ocean, all are association, masses, the heavy masses. How the masses are come into being? That's the cosmology, earth, sun, and all are working. How the earth was formed in the beginning. This is a process we are going to think now. So that is evolution of earth and all the planets and the functions of all the planets and distance, maintaining each and every planet. For example, in between earth and sun is calculated 9 crores of miles between sun and earth. Earth is rotating around the sun. What's the speed? We all know. That speed is for 1 day. That is 15,50,000 miles. 1 day earth goes around the sun for 15,50,000 miles. Can you believe and understand? So like you can calculate what will be the other end. That is 9 crores. The diameter multiplied by 2. After that, we'll divide by 22 by 7. You can get the orbit length. The length of the orbit, what we got, when we divide it by 365 days in the year, you get the distance covered in 1 day. That is 15,50,000 miles. In the beginning, we were just water of small particle level. Like all we came from the single drop of blood particle, just like a pepper, even lesser than that. In our mother's womb, how many times we are here now? So has anybody done some work for it? Do you know any work to make this enlarge? Even mother doesn't know. So who is doing that? God is doing that, mutation. But we are always telling this is my body, I'm keeping this, I am like this, I'm like that. So when we understand the truth, we don't claim like that. There will be no what is called ego, agambhavam. It means the wrong concept. That will not be there. Always there is truth in our mind. When the truth only remains, will not disturb anybody. At the same time, will be helpful to others in the process of living. Only for that, all adults should know Brahmanyanam, which is realization of truth, realization of self. So Brahmanyanam, we all are fortunate to develop our 6th sense to its fullness and achieve the Brahmanyanam, which is the perfection of the consciousness and the purpose of the birth. An understanding of gravity and consciousness is essential for the enlightenment of knowledge of mankind. Ever since humankind became desirous of knowing the wonderful function of nature. These two subjects have come under search and research, but still the search has not been successful. Why? Because these two subjects and their functions are almost beyond the reach of man's mind and senses. Imperceptible. No telescope can get into that. A great many people have written about their ideas and concepts of these two subjects. Maharishi also is one among them. This speech is taken from Maharishi's own voice. So perhaps my exposition may induce new ideas in some scientists, which will open fresh possibilities toward the realization of truth and innermost secrets of nature. The history of evolution from the first living being up to man can be realized only by an analysis of the genetic center. It is a treasure chest containing all the secrets of the transformatory processes leading to the evolution of man. At the end of one's life, the physical body begins to disintegrate and the constituent particles separate and regain their independent nature. Thus, the dissolution. In life, the wondrous universal energy called as magnetism keeps the physical structure intact and affects all the physical and psychic functions. The magnetic energy originates from the spin of the infinitesimal fragmented particles of absolute space, gravity. Though magnetism prevails everywhere, in everything and in every being, its bearing and functions in living beings are in a circulatory motion. This circulating biomagnetism, in accordance with the principles of specific gravity, intensifies at the center. Such centers formed within every living being are known as the genetic centers. For example, like how many cells are we made of? If I am 50 kilogram, there are 5 trillion cells. Let's see how it forms from the genetic center. The attractive power of the genetic center compresses and shrinks infinitesimally all the characteristics of the physical and psychic activities of the living beings and stores them. The genetic center does not get annihilated. It extends its existence during one's lifetime and even after one's demise with all its characteristics and potentials through one's descendants or by attachment with other genetic centers. The process of characterization and preservation in this biomagnetic center is called as imprinting. An imprint, once affected, can be expiated or eradicated only through appropriate remedial processes, activities, or experiences. Such expiation or eradication of imprints is called purification. The genetic center possesses all the imprints affected through the deeds of thousands of species along the lineage of transformations. Additions and deletions take place in accordance with the experiences enjoyed and encountered from time to time. The imprints contained in the genetic center continue to function until their purification as an inherent element and is called as the soul of a living being. The genetic center becomes pure once the imprints are eradicated through appropriate methods. On leaving the physical body, it merges with the expansive universal magnetic field. An explanation regarding the genetic center serves to kindle an interest in analyzing and understanding the history of the evolution of human beings, living beings. Humankind is the extensional functioning mode of this center and is the conglomeration of the varied functions of the biomagnetic wave. When the functional frequency of the mind is altered by a suitable psychic practice and brought in function with any matter of interest, all of its nature is revealed to the mind. In this process, when the mind dwells at its most subtle states, all the secrets of all imperceptible concepts, including Almighty God, are revealed to itself. Moreover, the mind identifies the genetic center as God, incarnate in the human system that remains as the soul. For any human being, realization of gravity, God, and genetic center are imperative to lead a fruitful life towards consummation. Realization of the nature, functions, and potentials of the genetic center paves the way for the realization of absolute truth named as God. Universal magnetism is the all-pervading power throughout the functioning universe. Around the vast functioning universe, the static state exists, which is plenum, Almighty, the unified force. The same static state in the functioning universe is filled with energy particles, and this spreading waves, shadow wave particles, this is the universal magnetic field. It's a magnet. We are all connected. Our body is made of 5 elements, and the cosmos made of Panchapudas. We are all connected. So in this field, all kinds of masses are formed, and in the interparticle space, magnetism is continually being physically transformed as pressure, sound, light or heat, smell, and taste. Within a living being, the magnetism is additionally transformed into the sixth sense called the mind. The magnetic field of a living being is called biomagnetism. These two aspects of magnetism have been explained. By understanding the universal magnetism and biomagnetism, one can explore all the secrets of life and universe, enabling one to discover the spiritual knowledge, which is the depth of the human mind. One can thus understand this subjective phenomena, unified force, then life force, and magnetism. Then the divine character of love and compassion willfully blossom to ensure peace and happiness in life. With this being said, I conclude my speech. May our Guru's grace be always upon us. By the grace of divine power, we all will enjoy good health, long life, enough wisdom and peace. Thank you. Thank you, Aya. Thank you for the opportunity. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you, Professor Mahadevi. She was talking about attraction at the internet, at the universal level. Okay, so what is the source of attraction? What is magnetism? What is gravity? So I think maybe it was a bit high for some of us, but understanding these concepts or trying to understand will make a big difference, as she was saying. Then our ego will come down because there's a great force working within and outside. So living in tune with that only can give you peace. But once you think that you are doing it, then problem starts. So in that way, learning the secrets of nature will be of great use. And she has given exposition on that. Now I leave it for your interactions. Any questions, clarifications, any comments, most welcome. You can raise your hand or just unmute everyone so that you can just unmute and speak if you feel like.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, madam, you can unmute. Yeah, you can speak. We are hearing you.
Good evening. I just wanted to ask one question. For cleaning the purification of your genetic center, Brahmagyanam, I have taken that course. Though I'm not very regular with meditation, but whenever I am meditating, that day I feel nice. But I mean, apart from meditation and the surroundings, office, everything has been affecting. So while we try to bless people who have been not so nice to you, the practice is taking its own time. Like I'm still not able to achieve or be a person that I should have been by learning these practices. So where am I lacking? What do I do to, cleanse my genetic center and not carry all this with me, the negativity?
Be blessed by the divine ma. That's a great question. That's Aya. I will try my extent, Aya, and always.
Please go ahead. It is your day.
It's a universal problem, ma. You're not alone. The negativity, what I can suggest is, we'll do meditation, we'll do our part, and become light, and leave it to the Almighty. Yes, it takes time based on the karmas. So what's our part is to keep us light and happy anytime. So, and also what Maharishi suggests is to fill ourselves with the positive thoughts, not giving space for the negativity, not one time. If we carry that, I am around negative, no, that's not allowed. So I am around the divine protection. I am always being taken care by the 24/7 surveillance camera, right? Our divine protection. So Guru's grace and divinity will always be there to forgive others, the greatness, and we forgive others' trespasses, and we also ask God for forgiveness of our own trespasses. When we forgive our own self, we will be happy to forgive everybody. So even that is there. And with that being said, I'll leave to Aya for more clarification. Thank you, Aya.
Yes, I think it's a very good question. It's a common problem for all of us. We do meditation, may not be very regular, and I try to be good, but why people are not behaving properly to me? Why I have these problems? And how do I get over it? So Swamiji talks about meditation and introspection. So are we regularly introspecting, finding out what exactly is, for example, anger? Is it only that the other party is wrong and we are right always? So he says you try to list it out. So there are areas where our mistakes are also there. But when we are angry, we don't think about that. So this type of introspection, first it will remove our impurities. Okay, you will start becoming a better person. What is spirituality? Spirituality is nothing but removing the negative ones, strengthening the positive ones. Okay, that is what is development of our character also. And then Swamiji also talks about how to get over the negativity by this process of improving the sin imprints. How do you remove that? So you have expiation, and then superimposition, and then dissolution. So expiation means, suppose you made a mistake, say sorry for that. Or if you have done something and then you have created some loss for somebody, give that. So like that, what negative thing you have done, immediately if you can do that, that is called prashchittam, expiation. But for problems, the genetic center where deep rooted are there, then it will just by saying sorry, it will not be enough. So you will have to do a counter action, maybe for 5 years, 10 years also. For example, I've not taken care of my health for 20 years, but now I sit for meditation for 2 days. Is it going to change? No, it has damaged the system so much that maybe for 2 years I have to do exercise regularly. I should have control over my food. So by doing that, so there's nothing like things will be over in 1 day or a few days. It all depends on the actual, the depth to which, in fact, even hereditary imprints will be there. Will be affected even by that. So it is a long time, it's a lifetime process. But in the process, are you feeling better? The question is, how are you now? You practice this for some time. Has there been a change in you? Don't expect change in others. Is there a change in me? That's all is in our hands. As long as society is like this, we will have problems. Because society is not perfect. Our social system is not perfect. To that extent, all of us will be affected. Okay, depending on the system of politics, system of economics, that is going to affect all of us. So within that limit, what is it that you can do to improve yourself? So keep trying it. Definitely you will be better off than what you were. And a gap between expectation and reality, that will come down. Okay, so we need some, what do you call, patience with this. Okay, all the best. Try that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I have a question. Can I talk?
Yes, Amma, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. So in Turiya or Sahasrara meditation, am I supposed to feel something, or is it okay to not feel anything? Is there any specific body changes, mind changes, symptoms that we should feel?
Yes, Amma, that's a great question. How long have you been meditating, Ma?
For about 6 to 7 years, I will say.
Okay. So whatever you're doing is great. You keep practicing it. You don't need to stick into any kind of feeling that I should have. You are open. And that, by the way, you will be focused on your meditation. So we are merging as with our life force in Turiya. So the intensified energy that feels on the crown chakra, it can give a little intensification, kind of pressure, but that's fine. You're feeling light. If you're doing that, then that's absolutely fine. So we don't want to condition anything, and but you can always focus on the Turiya chakra. Maybe you can have touch on the chakra 1 or 2 times with the professors, and also by invoking Guru. If that's not possible in your home, you can do it with your own forefinger. And I think that's allowed. Maybe we'll ask more clarification from Aya.
Yeah, adding to that, it is not necessary that you should have a particular type of feeling. Let us not expect that. For some people, the vibration or that feeling may not be, they may not be able to feel the vibration. But it doesn't mean that it is not working properly. So continue to do that. You will find that slowly the number of thoughts will come down. So whenever you feel that the mind is going away, immediately give auto-suggestion to your mind. No, I want to practice meditation right now for 10-15 minutes. Let thoughts come later. Let me not focus on that. Again, the mind will come to Turiyam or Rajna wherever you're meditating. So slowly you will find that within that 15-20 minutes, you will be able to find more time at Turiyam, actually staying there. But it need not, definitely I tell you, need not have any feeling at all. Sometimes yes, you may feel some sort of a vibration there at Agnya and Turiyam, but it is not always necessary. But still the meditation could be deeper. Again, as I answered the last question, by practicing these things, is there any change in your personality? That is the yardstick of meditation. How in a particular situation, how I was behaving before. Now in the same situation, how am I behaving? If you feel that you're slightly improved, that is the effect of meditation. So let us try to do that instead of trying to see that I should get this vibration, I should get some light and all that. Different bodies respond differently for meditation. So some of us may not even feel much, but it doesn't matter. Don't feel it. Don't feel for it. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. One more question, if I can ask here. Do you offer mentorship for these kind of higher programs? Because I'm also teaching yoga here, and I want some kind of a mentor. Do you offer that kind of programs?
What do you mean by mentor? I'm not very
Mentorship is like somebody whom I can talk to and ask for improvements, suggestions, things like that. In yoga.
We have our meditation centers. Be in touch with them.
Okay. Uh-huh.
They should be able to help you.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Good. If any more questions or comments, views.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you, Aya. Aya, can I have 1 second? I would like to tell that thing that appeared in my mind today's meditation.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, yeah. So, like based on give more than you take, the title, give more than you take. When Amma was conducting meditation, we inhale and we exhale through other nostril. That exhalation, they say it has to be twice, right? Whatever we take, if we give more than that, we'll feel healthy. So even in that also, that applies. So that part I want to share with you. Thank you, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Everybody, thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for a topic, secret of attraction. Of course, it was at a different level, at universal attraction level. Then, of course, individually, maybe sometime later, how you can you attract how positive things. All those things also we'll be seeing subsequently. And I would like to thank Lataji also for a beautiful meditation, and all the participants from different parts of the world joining this group meditation and lecture. Every day, morning and evening, we have group meditations, satsangs. The morning, we start at 6 o'clock. So 6 to 6:30, there'll be a meditation. And followed by that, will be physical exercise, Karikal physical exercise, and some thought for the day. The evening, it starts at 6:25. We do a Kayakalpa for 5 minutes, and then we have the same meditation and exercise. The same ID and password. So whenever you find time, please see that you can join the group. When you do in group meditation, the effect is even more. So almost welcome to join that as well. So with these words, let us conclude this session. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you all once again. Yeah, we conclude. Thank you.